It's a bit eerie this morning, but we've made some investments. And let's just say, some of them might revolve around a breakfast food. Since our last sighting on Old School, we have officially sold off the old 67. Somebody bought the truck for $6,000, said they wanted to turn it into a resto mod, the more power to them. We also scored a deal with Walter that we were going to keep a full wagon of soybeans from the field that we harvested over stream, I believe, 2 weeks ago. We got to unload that DMI wagon, so that way we can get our money. And if I did my math right, we're going to get a little over $10,000 for that trailer. Also looking on Auction House, I came across this 1995 Sooner stock trailer. I think it could possibly be more of a horse trailer because of how tall it is, but it was as cheap as it could be. And that is because I want to get into hogs. The hog barn I would like to place in this specific area. Right here. So we are going to have our hands full trying to make some money back. And I really could probably just get rid of the hay equipment. I don't see a reason to keep any of it because it makes us literally no money. So let's get the Minneapolis warmed up as we head into town with the soybeans. And because it is December, I am pretty certain that our sorghum prices are also at the highest. Still a month away. As much as I'd like to hold out, I think I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. We'll just tandem it up to the DMI and haul them in together. All you farmers can definitely start laughing at me. I learned something from my actual friend Thomas the other day. I had no idea that sorghum was also known as Milo. And Milo was a very popular crop in my local area for like decades. Those times have technically passed. But I had no idea that Milo was the other name for grain sorghum. You learn something new every day. Careful now, I don't want to start power hopping like Grant did. I gotta say it, the Minneapolis really has been a great addition to the farm since we bought it. Every now and then it kind of shows its weaknesses, like, you know, pulling the wagons up the hill. But for the most part, I adore this thing. However, you might be wondering, if we bought a stock trailer to get into the hog business, what do you have to pull it? Because the only truck that technically could have had a gooseneck in it was the 250. I'm gonna say this. No, we are not buying Marcus's truck because that thing is way too nice. That's like a $25,000 to maybe even $35,000 truck. A four-wheel drive 7.3 F350? Yeah, that's not going to be sold cheap in this market. But I did come across a local listing on Marketplace. You know, the wonderful thing where sketchy is the new regular. And I came across a 1997, about the same year, F350 that is clapped out. I mean, this thing is frame rust, old tires, beat up rims. Someone put, I think, a custom ranch hand on the front, and that, yeah, it's about as interesting as you're gonna get. Wow, I really misjudged that pricing. What? I did the math! Where else could I have sold it? That's literally where I sold it!
12 seconds later.
Oh, you poor thing. I was looking at the wrong number. Yeah, I saw this at $41,000 and saw that Walter still had 33,000 liters in his bin. If you do the math, that's about $1.24 per liter. And that was worth $23,000, not $41,000. Lesson learned. Well, that cuts my profits in pretty much half. Okay, sorghum, don't let me down. Please, I beg of you. That wasn't even $10,000. Oh no. I was picturing I was gonna have like 15 grand after I dumped those. Well, in this episode where I completely screw up and I can't even do my own video idea. Just kidding. What we might end up doing is I'm still going to talk to the gentleman that I've already been in communication with about said pickup, and we'll just see if we can maybe get the truck for a lower price, but then I might also try and sell off that alfalfa ground and see how much money we can get for it. You guys have already seen that really just provides nothing to the farm. It's not that I really want to get rid of the hay operation, but there's no money in it. In order to make money, you're going to have to spend money, but you also have to be willing to part with things. And yes, I still have not fixed the turn signal on this tractor. It still only has the one. If you guys like old school and would love to see more content like this, you gotta let me know by heading down below, smash that like button, and maybe even considering subscribing. Every episode always has its fun little quirk to it, and this one just happened to be that I screwed myself in my own finances for the 15th time. But that's the truck we're looking at. You guys were really adamant about me trying to get this pickup from Marcus, but, you know, we can't afford the nice things. We gotta go at the things we can afford. Which this one did have a gooseneck in the back, does not have a toolbox. Got John Deere flaps, so, you know, it's a good truck. The frame has definitely seen better days on this thing. It doesn't have no running boards. However, the one thing this truck has going for it, it's a 7.3, about 289,000 miles. Says the back fuel tank doesn't really work, so we'd have to rely off the front. But the interior was decently kept, and I can confirm that that statement is true. He wants 12,000 for it. I'm gonna see if I can maybe talk him down to 9. That's gonna be hard to do with a truck that's 4-wheel drive and has a 7.3 in it. Those are very, very, very sought after trucks, especially the Excursions. Wish me luck. Negotiations are working, but I am gonna take the truck for a quick test drive. Brakes are a little spongy, wouldn't expect anything less. The lowest he says he'll go right now is 10, and I don't doubt him. You do not see a 7.3 go for much less than $10,000 unless it is a 2-wheel drive, and even then they usually are about the $8,000 range. How many cars are on this road at one time? Holy cow! The only real thing we have on this guy is that the fact that it's completely rusted out. I'll try and keep talking with him, seeing whether or not it's going to be something we can attain for the price that I'm willing to pay. I got a strong feeling that we're going to be coming home with a truck for no less than $10,000 if I buy this thing. Alright folks, we have a verdict. The seller is in the market for a little bit of grass ground. My current hay ground is worth $6,500. If I basically give him that land and $4,000 on top of it, he is willing to sell me the truck. That kind of sucks because I really wanted to just be able to get $6,000 out of that, but you know what? If it gets me a better performing truck that's going to help the farm grow, I might have to take it. So I'll get all this paperwork figured out, and then we're probably going to have to head home and start getting our baling stuff listed, because that's the only way we're now going to be able to afford doing this hog operation. I do not have the money or the infrastructure to do anything else. Do I need this pickup? No, but if I'm doing the hogs the way I said I was going to do today, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. Oh boy, I just got myself into a whole lot of trouble. The ground has been sold off and put back into Ben's name. So Ben now is the proud owner of our old alfalfa ground. I've been doing a little bit of shuffling back at the house. I got the cultivator and all of my baling supplies lined up alongside the road. Hopefully we'll get a buyer on that baler. That's the one that's going to bring me probably the most amount of money. But with all that's happening on this farm, we are slightly now on the struggle bus. We got to test this thing out with our new cattle trailer. You'll probably wonder how the heck I got it here. Well, it was hauled in by the owner himself. I could sell my S10, but I don't want to do that. Hey, when in doubt, we could also sell the Husqvarna. That'd work. Heck, I might just put that on the sale. I could probably buy a mower cheaper. Trailer feels good behind the pickup, and the brakes are working properly. Let's get on the phone with our supplier and see how well we can maybe orchestrate a cheaper pig pen. And trying to find some old hog feeders. That way I'm not spending the whole $25,000 for the kit that I was looking at. Okay. It took a lot of finagling. Hog feeders on the used market can go for a couple $100. I came across these four for about $500. After also buying the material to put up the fence line inside of our old existing wooden enclosure, that put me about $4,000 down in all materials included. We're still doing good, but I am going to need to get food and animals. I have somebody that did call me about the hay rack and the rake, so hopefully we can get those two things sold this afternoon. But let's do ourselves a favor and go pick up some hogs, along with getting some pig food ordered from the animal dealer. The other thing I thought about doing was building a garden. I do have some old scrap 2x4s in the loft of that old barn. Once again, I'm just going to jump in on the fast lane, because now that I'm technically a bull hauler, that means I'm going to drive like one. The one thing that is nice is that we'll probably end up buying piglets. They will be able to go inside of our old milking barn, so that way they can get out of the elements. I just hope that we built a sturdy enough pen for them. Let's see here. We want pigs. Why are these ones like all ready to go to market? There's a 6-month, but that one's technically ready to go to the market. Got anything better? Okay, there's a piglet. Need to get his weight up. This piggy's in rough shape, but I think we could turn him around. Let's take you. Let's take you. One of those little guys. I guess these are really the only pigs we can get that aren't really in the bad market, that are going to take a lot to really kind of turn them around. We'll get one really good boar. The only thing I do not like about this, like, realistic animal mod is that I have, like, no idea what I'm really looking at. I can understand the basics of it, but, man, it is a learning curve. I go with another mama pig, but we'll go with the younger of the two. And we'll load them up. Almost $2,000 for 5 pigs. One of them's name is Mackenzie. Oh, look at him. That one's sleeping. All right, gents, let's get you to your new home. Get some pig food on order, and then we will also start working on building our garden boxes so that system can get up and running. Hold on. Now that I think about it, we might need to keep the square baler. Because if we need straw for the pigs, I'm going to need to have bales. Oh, shoot. Oh, I can't sell the baler. Oh, no. Hopefully that guy that comes by this afternoon isn't really interested in the hay rack. I'll sell off the rake, but now I kind of got to keep the hay rack and the baler. Oh, boy. At least I was able to build the hog area for little to nothing. Yeah, this day just keeps getting worse. Oh, no. One day at a time. One day at a time. Get these guys unloaded. Beautiful. Now we got to go and get these other supplies. I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section, should we sell off the old S10? With the current financial situation that I have gotten myself into, I only feel that it is right that we try to make it right. While this truck is a great investment, the reliability factor might not be as good compared to, say, my little S10. However, we can do how many more projects using this truck compared to the little Chevy? Let me know your thoughts down below. And yes, I am well aware that I screwed myself over because I did not calculate money right. What is nice is that the pigs do not require any water because that pin does that for us, but we will still need to get straw and food. I think we can tackle both obstacles with our utility trailer and the Ford. Hopefully, because we did not get too many pigs, we should be able to afford the supplies we need. This is why it's important for kids to learn how to play Tetris. We got it all stacked up on the truck with 6,000 liters of pig food and 11,200 of straw. I might be overdoing it. I hope I'm overdoing it and that we will have a surplus. The pig food cost me $6,000, $1,000 a pallet, and I believe the straw bales were either $1,200 or $2,100. I can't remember. Let's just cross our fingers that this will be enough supplies to feed the pigs and really just kind of keep them comfortable for the next couple of weeks. Might try and talk to Walter, see if I can get a couple bushels of corn from him. Watch out, Hammy. I'm backing up. Oh, he's playing around. Look at him go. Yeah, you know who you are. You're gonna cost me a lot of money. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about you. Well, it took all the straw, and that was a little dent. But again, we only have 5 pigs, so I don't think that's going to be too much. And as for the pig food, let's just see how I'm supposed to do this. Aha! The straw is obviously cheap, so I can do that. But let's see, what did one of those get me? This might not be good. I don't even see a dent. With all of the food in the bin, that is... yeah. We got some work ahead of us. We have some work ahead of us. But that's all right. That's what we signed up for. We're in it for the long haul. Let's go ahead and grab that baler off of the roadside because we're going to have to start working with a grain product of some sorts. And we'll go talk to that buyer and see if he is going to be buying our hay rack. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, which is not bad news. It's also good news. But the guy did want both the rake and the hay rack, and we were able to get about $4,000 out of it. Not a bad deal, but now we don't have a hay rack. Still might try and sell this mower. And the cultivator, would I like to still have it? Yes. But ideally, I think we're just probably going to have to sell it as well. I really hope that starting this hog farm didn't just can me, but we live and we learn. We're on this journey together. I think we'll just try and look up in that barn loft and see if we could find some of those old pieces of wood and construct our garden plots. I'm thinking probably in this area right here, because I don't want to block off this driveway entrance, but I also don't really want to get rid of a spot where I might be able to build a house at someday. Maybe we could probably move these rocks. That might be a good idea as well. I'll figure something out. Well, that's what I was able to come up with. The fence line's made out of just pure scrap wood. And the actual planting plots, I just went and grabbed a couple bucket loads worth of topsoil from some high spots. And we're just going to start planting the stuff that we can use to feed the pigs with so we can make a good mixture. Somebody was saying you could just do a few things and it would make pig food. I'll have to look back at that comment. But for the meantime, we just dump some water in the fill tank and then it should take care of the rest of it. You know, I'll need potatoes and maybe sunflower? Remember, what does it take to really make pig feed? There we go. Potatoes or sugar beets. So we need potatoes, sunflowers, which we also have soybeans. I'm going to have beans. And then wheat or barley. Let's grow potatoes, sunflowers, lettuce, because lettuce is a pretty good money source. And we don't need carrots. All good. Everything looks dead, but that's because we got no water in it. There ain't no water in it. There ain't no life in it. Last thing we had in this trailer was liquid fertilizer. We cleaned it out pretty dang well. If it was Roundup, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But we'll just try and fill this thing up with water from our well. And I think that's probably about all we're really going to be able to do today. Very, very expensive day. I'll say that. There we go. Now the garden's starting to look nice. As the products reach their point of packaging, they'll just come out here on the side. And we can load them up on the trailer and take them over to the pigstry. I think that's really about all the time we're probably going to have for you guys today on the old school farm. Sorry for the episode kind of being almost more of a Debbie Downer. I just did not really realize how bad I was going to kind of hose myself on that. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in. If you want to check out this playlist as it grows in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can do that right now. Other than that, make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. We shall see you guys all in the next one. This is the Rental Man out. Peace.